Yeah, it's overwhelming. One of the other groups that we work with, police, is fire, and I don't know what firefighters are like in other states. I know police and fire get into it and they make fun of each other, but I do know in the state of California, where we are, firefighters are very, very busy. A lot of that is because of the wildland fire issues that we have, and even city police or city fire departments spend half their year fighting wildfires. The stations, even here locally to us, one of the busiest stations in the United States is about 20 minutes from here. Very, very busy, and because of that, there's unique challenges there as well. And some of those come in the form of working all the time, not having the opportunity to process so much of what they deal with. And you hear stories about responding to accidents where children are killed, and then going back to the station, changing clothes, and going to some kind of a community event. You never have the right or the opportunity to be sad, to process, to deal with things. And here in our state, CAL FIRE is now one of the organizations, that's our state fire department, that is sending more and more folks to our programs. I know you've talked to a lot of those folks as well, but it's a crazy time for everyone right now in the first responder community.
Yeah, firemen, like we said, we do have that. It's kind of like the Army, Navy, not Army, Navy, Army, Marines, right? Yeah, you always tell me how much better you're, and everybody wants to be a Marine.
Which is true, but that's true, though. That's the difference.
It is true. It is true. But at the end of the day, man, if we were in combat, it would make a difference.
That's right.
Brothers, right? And that's the truth. With firemen, we were always jealous as police officers. What's a frustrated fireman? A police officer, right? Kind of funny. But it was that friendly rivalry or whatever. And I remember before our first responder, and I think I've told you this before the first responder only program we were going to do, literally a couple weeks before it, there was a fire captain from Westminster that jumped off the bridge and killed himself. And my first reaction is like, why does a fireman want to kill himself? Everybody loves them. They make good money. They have great schedules. But I started thinking about it, and then I started looking it up, and I at the time anyways, there was more firemen killing themselves than police officers. Right. And I was really shocked by that initially. And then as I thought about it, well, what are the things that bothered me as a police officer? It wasn't the shootings I was involved with. It wasn't that. It wasn't the fights. I mean, the fights were fun most of the time. I don't want to say the shootings were fun, but those things really didn't bother me. The things that bother me and the things that are still ingrained in my brain, and things that I never forget, is the dead kids, is the women that are beat, is the women that are raped, it is the victims out there, the traffic collisions. And I always say this, and when you smell burning flesh, as you over in Iraq yourself, you remember that smell, and something that can never get out of your nostrils. I say it, I can smell it, right? I say dead kids, I can remember the first dead kid I ever saw. And as I was thinking through this, I was like, man, who's there with this? It's the firemen.
Yeah.
And I have a good buddy who's CAL FIRE, and we were talking about this, and he's like telling me, like, John, sometimes you guys do it, but we're the ones holding these kids, these people, a lot of times when you take their last breath. Yeah. So it really did change my heart as far as firemen go and what they have to go through. Knowing just me personally, those are the things that still to this day, for sure, as you could tell, they're a little emotional because they never leave. I talk about it, I could see it like it is happening right now. And those guys see it every day. Yeah. Every single day, well, maybe not every single day, but a lot. Yeah. A lot, so they have some challenges for sure,
I was talking to a friend of mine who's LA City Fire, and we were talking a couple weeks ago, and he said, what we do is just not normal. And I was struck by this. He's been working for 20 years as a firefighter. And he said, I responded to a fire the other day, and there was a body that had been burned, and the thought came to me, this is not normal. It's not normal to deal with things like this. And he looked at me and said, we've got to work through how to process this and how to help other people deal with this as well. And that's, again, comes back to your point, is it's not normal. It becomes normal in your world maybe, but when you stop long enough to think about it, you realize this is not what normal people do.
And if it doesn't bother you and doesn't affect you, then there's something wrong with you.
There's something wrong, right? Yeah. So let's talk about how we help those in the first responder community. What we do is maybe different. I am not sure that apart from medication and psychiatry or psychology, that there is a lot available to those in the first responder community, which makes the veteran community unique as well. There are so many different programs and opportunities, and I believe what we do is the very best thing, but there are a lot of places that a veteran can go and try to get help. But those who are in the first responder community, there's really not much. I mean, there are counselors, peer support teams, departments are trying to do a better job of dealing with these things. But we've had the opportunity now to bring a couple hundred folks into our program. We'll continue to advance that. But our approach is unique. And what's been fascinating to me is that when you're talking about a veteran, you're talking about someone who's been in the military and is not anymore. So when we talk about faith and things like that, there's no restraint on that. We work with those who are currently in the military, but they know what we're about. But we have fire departments, police departments, others who are sending folks to us, understanding we approach this from a faith position, and they don't care because it works.